Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's going on? I am Scoops Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
And you're now tuned into the Viewers Anonymous podcast. What's going on with you, brother?
Same old shit, different day, man. But things looking good, looking up. Just excited to be back in the lab, man, doing another pod for the people, man, because we got a great one today. But how you feeling?
Oh, man, I'm feeling amazing. I'm kind of salty, man, because Monday was supposed to be a pretty decent day. It was supposed to be a little bit warmer. You know, Sunday it warmed up for the Easter holiday. And then, man, we get outside and it starts snowing.
What?
Yeah, it was snowing on Monday. And then today it was a little cold, but it just like kind of warmed up a little bit. So I don't know what the fuck going on here in Ohio. I'm at my wit's end with the weather right now. I'm just I don't know what to do anymore, man. I honestly don't.
Hey, same here, man. Easter Sunday, you know, I had the shorts on, short sleeve shirt, no jacket all day. And then yesterday, went to work. It rained for like the first like 3-4 hours while I was working.
Damn.
And cold as hell. Like,
Yeah.
I'm talking about like I had to keep my hoodie on all day. And like usually down here, it get about, you know what I'm saying, 10:30. Start coming out the jacket, you know, you start heating up. But it's just like, I literally have to check. I'm pretty sure you got to deal with the same, but I have to check the weather every morning.
Every
to
morning?
See, like, yeah, like what am I wearing today?
No, see, I got to check the weather in the morning and at 12 o'clock. Because, see, like I said, it snowed on Monday, right? It snowed up until about like 11. And then when we left out, it was almost like 50 degrees.
Yo, that's crazy.
Man. So, yeah, I feel you. I definitely get up and check the weather in the morning, but around 12 o'clock, I look right back at it and see, you know, what's about to happen.
Yeah, it's man, it seems like it's happening everywhere. You know, I listen to Ebro them in the morning, and they was talking about how crazy the weather been. Like up there in New York, man, it's just like they're like, yo, like it's about to be May, and they're still talking like it's winter here. Like
shit,
still.
Same here.
And I'm like,
that's what it's feeling like, man. I'm used to April showers.
That's what I'm saying. Like it is crazy out here, man. Like, and I said this before, I say it again. If y'all don't believe in global warming, I'm just saying. I mean, I know they like to use it as a political thing and all this type of stuff, but it's just like, yo, you just got to look at what's going on, man. You got ice glaciers breaking off in Antarctica and shit. It's just like, come on, man. Something's going on.
Something is definitely happening. And I'm being honest with you. The way the weather is just in general, like ain't none of this shit normal. The fact that it's snowing in April, bro. And I mean, like, it wasn't like no light snow. Like, nigga, that shit was piling up. Like, we got close to 1 inch of snow.
And then, like I've been telling you, dude, like, we're getting, like, tornadoes, like, every year now. And it's not like one or two. Like, we're getting a few. Remember, we did a podcast about, like, 2-3 weeks ago, I told you. Probably maybe 20 minutes from here, 15, 20 minutes from here. Like a tornado hit ground and damaged, I think it was like 12. It was either 12 to 18 houses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They said like 4 or 5 of them were total.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, like I used to hear about tornadoes. You always thinking about the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? Kansas and we all that little stuff up in there.
We get them a lot out here, like in the suburb area. Like I want to say it was not last year, the year before last. It hit like super bad. It hit like super, super bad. No, I take that back. It was 19. 2019, because 2020 was the COVID year. But yeah, 2019, man, it hit bad. It hit like it got like super close to where it never hits, bro. And I mean, like it hit places we ain't never seen no tornado hit. So I'm with you on that shit, man. This weather is getting crazy.
Man, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one.
But man,
man.
I'm be honest with you, man. I've been, you know what I'm saying, super excited because I've been seeing these trailers jumping out. You know what I'm saying? We got some great movies coming out soon.
Shows also.
Yeah, shows too. You know what I'm saying? To name a few, as far as the movie side, you know, Thor's just got released. I'm not sure if Doctor Strange, I think you said it was, but I ain't sure if it is or it isn't. But I know they released a trailer for that, and then, you know what I'm saying? So I'm excited to see that. Trying to think what else. Oh, Love, Death, and Robots season 3 got announced. Stranger Things, you know what I'm saying, got announced. So, you know what I'm saying, there's a bunch of new stuff coming out that we're going to have to get on and get to talking about with the people, man. So I'm excited to see what's going to, especially with Stranger Things, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's such a good show to me. Now that they like really older, like they at their teenage years and shit, like this really going to get good to me. And then with Love, Death, and Robots, if anybody hasn't seen that, it's like it's like Black Mirror, but it kind of got like animation in it and everything else. So it's along that line of Black Mirror, just with a nice little twist on it. And man, that show is dope as hell. It's on Netflix if you guys want to check it out. But that shit is fire, man.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to correct one thing for the people. Doctor Strange come out May 6th.
So, May 6th. Okay.
Yeah, May 6th. But yeah, man, I've been on that was one of those shows that I usually don't jump on the hype train, but like when it first came out by like 4 years ago, whatever it was, I jumped in early, man, and I was like, yo, this show is dope as fuck, man. And those kids, man, who are, I mean, they ain't really kids no more. Like I saw the other day, because like I follow a lot of, you know, Netflix stuff and you know what I mean, stuff like that. The one girl, the redheaded girl that was in she wasn't it, wasn't she? No. The redhead girl that was in Fear Street.
Oh yeah.
She's in Stranger Things. Yo, she just turned 20.
They don't look like it at all, bro.
I was like, wait a minute, am I reading this right? I was like, 20.
I mean, but you know, but it's crazy, bro, because Hollywood always seems to find like these grown ass people, bro, that look like little ass kids.
Yeah. It's like the same way with like Euphoria and stuff. Like these supposed to be high school students, but like Zendaya's like 24, 25.
Bro, she been a child star for like for like 17 years, bro. Oh, some real shit.
17 years.
She's been a child star for like 17 years. I remember like maybe like 4 or 5 years back, nigga, she was on the Disney Channel.
Yeah.
My daughter used to watch that shit, man. Like, so she's definitely been getting that bag. That's one thing I said about her. She's been getting that bag. She's
definitely getting that bag. And I never personally watched the show, but I know like my youngest son watches it a lot. But man, did you see they brought iCarly back? Yeah, they got it. They brought it back. I think it's on Paramount Plus. I think.
Oh, okay.
But I just thought that it was funny that they brought that show back. Like my youngest son.
Is it the same people?
Yeah, but they didn't bring the blonde girl back. She didn't come back. But she's doing her own thing. I think she's like directing and shit now.
Shit, the iCarly chick is fucking almost 30.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm saying. Like,
like I watch that shit like crazy.
Yeah, man. My son, he watches it. Like he's big into iCarly, Sam and Cat. He love that shit.
Yeah.
It was another one of those Nickelodeon shows. Like he watched the teenage Nickelodeon shows. Like he didn't watch the kids.
The Sam chick is the blonde head.
The blonde one. Yeah.
I remember her. Yeah.
Yeah, because she was in iCarly. She started in iCarly, and then they created Sam and Cat.
iCarly was ahead of its time, though. iCarly was way ahead of his time.
Well, like I say, from like I'll go in there and sit with him and stuff, and I see a little bit of it. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying about it.
She was like a YouTube star.
Yeah.
So that shit
and they couldn't use the iPhone Apple, so they would use like an actual Apple with no bite taken out of it. It was funny.
That shit was super. That shit was super ahead of its times because like now you got motherfuckers that's really on that shit. So that always cracked me up going back and think about that. Like damn, like she was really a fucking social media star. That was crazy.
She definitely was, because that's what they was doing. They was doing shows on the internet.
Yep.
Yes,
Look at them now. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers are doing the same thing in real life, man.
Yep.
Shit. So today is the day, man. You know what I'm saying? Today we give flowers, you know what I'm saying? We pay homage to a legend, director, screenwriter, producer. What else is he, man? Shit, an icon.
That he is. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? A fucking just a
editor, man. Don't forget about that, man. He started out editing films.
Yeah, editor. Man. I mean, he's one of those people who had an actor also. You know what I'm saying? I forgot about that. But you know what I'm saying? He's just pretty much done it all, man. Hailing from New York, born November 17, 1942. You know what I'm saying? Graduating from New York University, man. We're talking about the one and only, the great Martin Scorcese. So this dude is one of those people that I heard about. My first time ever hearing about Scorsese was in rap music. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z used to say his name a lot. And I never knew who the fuck he was talking about. And I'm like, who the fuck is Martin Scorsese? But then I start hearing other rappers say his name too. And I'm like, who the fuck is Martin Scorsese? So, you know what I'm saying? You get to watching all these movies like Goodfellas and, you know what I'm saying, Godfathers and The Departed and Aviator and, you know what I'm saying, The Gangs in New York and all these other movies that's, you know what I'm saying, being created with all these great actors. And come to find out that this is the guy behind all of these films. You know what I'm saying? He's the mastermind behind all of these projects. And it was shocking because, like, I remember one time I actually seen him on film before I actually knew who he was. And then when I finally, you know what I'm saying, looked him up and seen him, I was like, oh, yeah, I seen this dude before. He was in that one movie. So I'm thinking that he was just an actor. And then, you know what I'm saying, like I said, later on, come to find out he's actually like, you know what I'm saying, the producer or the director or the screenwriter or whatever. And, you know what I'm saying, it's amazing just to see his work and the people that he works with. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people that he's working with are legends in their own right. So, you know what I'm saying, for him to be able to, you know what I'm saying, get these people early and get these people in these films before, you know what I'm saying, they really got a chance to, well, I don't want to say got a chance, but before they really blew up, you know what I'm saying, that just kind of goes to show his foresight, you know what I'm saying, and who he is, like being able to have these people in these roles and everything else. And I know a lot of that has to do with casting, of course, but just the fact that, you know what I'm saying, directors and everything else also have to be able to okay, you know what I'm saying, the choices of casting. So, you know what I'm saying, what's your initial, you know what I'm saying, impressions of Martin Scorsese, you know what I'm saying, the first time you heard about him, so on and so forth?
Well, I mean, the first time I saw his work before I actually heard about him. I think when you look at the IMDb, like the first movie that I saw of Martin Scorsese would have been I don't remember which order, but it had to be either Casino or Goodfellas. Mm-hmm. And I just remember watching the movies, fell in love with the movies. I thought that they was really good, and that's when I really realized that I had like a fascination with that life. You know, that's why I do like those series, the little series thing that I do on the 28 minutes or less, where I like, take like a drug dealer or something like that. Like I'm kind of like how people are fascinated with like serial killers and shit like that. Like, I've been fascinated with his life, and Martin does a really good job at doing these movies. And so when I first started really paying attention to like directors and producers and shit like that, then I started to realize like, yo, like this Martin Scorsese dude, like this dude is different. And like, and when you look at some of the things, that he had done, like, you mentioned that, he graduated from New York University School of Film, and then like he won like a few prize winning short films like The Big Slave, I Call You First. But then this is another thing I didn't know this. He served as a assistant director and editor of the documentary Woodstock in 1970.
Oh wow!
And I didn't know that. And then what really put Martin Scorsese on was he won. He got some acclaim for the movie Mean Streets that came out in '73. And see, he had Robert De Niro in there, and him and Robert De Niro formed this relationship, and I think that he was. Now, you also got to realize we're talking about the '70s. So, and look, I was born in '85. So if this happened before, y'all, I'm sorry, but like I feel like this was that first like dynamic duo that other directors kind of seen the chemistry that him and Robert De Niro had, and people start doing it later on. I.e. when you start thinking about Denzel Washington and Spike Lee, they keep continuing to work with each other. You look at Christopher Nolan, he continues to work with Leonardo DiCaprio. And when you look at your boy
Tarantino and
Sam Jackson. So I think a lot of people started taking it, but I think that when you start working with a certain director, like I think it's a whole lot easier in that room when you're going over the script, because you already know what they want. They already know what you bring. So that relationship makes it very easy. And the success that they had when they came to Mean Street, and then Mean Street really kind of put him, I mean, he was on the map, but he wasn't like that guy yet. Right. And I think what really took it over the top was when he did Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro. And Robert De Niro, that's when he really like became that guy. And then, he ended up winning for Raging Bull. But like, what are your thoughts on, and are there any other people that that have like these relationships with director, actor, where they keep continuously work for a person? And like, what are your thoughts on Robert De Niro and Scorsese continues to work with each other?
I mean, the only other director-actor relationship I could think of off bat would probably be like Tyler Perry and Cicely Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Like she definitely makes those appearances. Well, she was making those appearances in a lot of Tyler Perry movies. But that relationship between Scorsese and De Niro, it was just one of those things to where you can kind of sense that they saw something in each other, right? Like, because this is a young De Niro, this is a young Scorsese. He's had a few, so like he had a few movies already, and then with De Niro, I'm not sure if this was his first movie or if he's like been in a couple joints before that, but just the fact that you can get that type of, so like you can get that type of relationship from a few films. You know what I mean? Like to turn Taxi Driver and Mean Streets into The Godfather, and then to turn that into,
he didn't do The Godfather.
I mean, not The Godfather, Goodfellas. I'm sorry, you're right. Thanks for that. But to turn that into Goodfellas, and then to turn Goodfellas into Casino, and then to turn Casino into The Departed, and then turn The Departed into The Irish. You know what I'm saying? Like, just even though it's not the same, you know what I'm saying, people in those movies, of course, but just that line of movies that he's done, right? Like, he, of course, you know what I'm saying, as far as mafia movie goes, he's the king of the mafia movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we'll get a better mafia movie out of anybody like we do Scorcese. And it's like he can do the same story over and over again, but somehow it'll feel new every time. And then you get a guy like De Niro, and he could play the same character in the mafia movie over and over again, but it'll feel new every time. Like Ace in Casino is like, we've seen Robert De Niro in this role already. He's the cool, laid back guy who, you know what I'm saying, is basically put in charge of everything, and they let him run shit, and he gets the special treatment. That's the only character he plays in mafia movies. We already know that.
True. And you said somehow it feels different. I think I got an answer for that somehow. So I'm watching this thing that he put together, where he filmed his parents, and so they was in his parents' house, and he just basically just wants them to just talk about their upbringing, all that type shit. And the answer to that somehow is his attention to detail. Like the way that he wants things to be, like he wants it down like to a T. For instance, when you look at Goodfellas, and when you look at what was the other movie that they portrayed it in? They portrayed it in another movie where so you remember how in Goodfellas when old dude was making the meatballs and the sauce, and kept talking about, you gotta stir the sauce, you gotta stir the sauce. So in that thing, that when he was kind of like interviewing his parents, like his mom, that he had his mom actually make like spaghetti and do the sauce. And they were sitting there talking. She was like, I gotta go stir the sauce. Like she gets up, she stirred the sauce, and then she talked about like how she did the meatballs, and talked about how you make the meatballs moist and all that type shit. So he actually used like his mom, and like that was he put that in the films,
right?
And also the woman that plays Joe Pesci's mom, it's not his mom, but like, dude, like that lady is his mom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't his mom, but you know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of glasses she wore, the way she wore her hair, all that stuff. It was like,
I think that's just all older Italian ladies though.
True, but like but it's just like his attention to detail, man, but like of like how he wants stuff. Like it is just, I can't think. I mean, there's other directors that do. Don't get me wrong. It's like everybody pay attention to what they're doing, but I think, but like you said, like Scorsese can do really like the same movie, but it's different every time.
I mean, but in a sense, like he's done the same movie over and fucking over again. Like there's no difference between, if you break it down to the simplicity, there's no difference between Goodfellas, there's no difference between Casino, there's no difference between The Departed, any of these mafia movies that he's done. There's no difference in them. The Irishman, there's no difference in them. It's a different story. You know what I'm saying? It all has the same foundation. It's a different story, and it's usually the same guys. But the only difference is that somehow, some way, they find a way to make it feel like it's totally new. It's like if you watch Goodfellas and then you watch Casino back to back, even though
you think it's continuously running,
100%. But we know it's a different movie. We know 100% that it's a different movie. And then like even with you know what I'm saying, him playing Sam Rothstein in Casino, it doesn't feel like the character he plays in Goodfellas. But it does at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It is. And Martin, and he knows his pocket. And I'm not mad at it. I feel like if you master something, I'm not mad at you continuously doing the same thing. You know, they was talking about for instance, they was talking about on Ebro in the morning today, they was talking about Doja Cat, right? And this dude had tweeted at Rosenberg saying that I can't believe that y'all are saying, because they were saying that Doja Cat, what Rosenberg said, Doja Cat can out-rap Kanye and Drake right now. And then this dude said that all she talk about is riding D and all this type of stuff. So they were like, think about Pusha T. He do coke rap. That's all he raps about. But we keep going back and we keep listening to Pusha T. Yeah. Even though he's doing the same subject matter, but it's different bars. Yeah. But it's the same subject. Martin does the same thing. A lot of the time, it's the same subject, but he takes stuff from his life and just put it on film. Like he was talking about like how violent his movies are. He was like, my movies are very violent, but he was like, I grew up, you know, in Little Italy, and it was violent. He was like, there were times when he was little where like somebody would announce it, be like, yo, we're gonna go kill somebody at 3:00. And the parents would come down and tell all their kids to come in the house at 3:00, and then they would hear a gunshot, and then they'll let the kids go back outside. Yeah, like this is where he grew up at in this part of New York. So it's like, yeah, he's like, yeah, I have a lot of violence in my movie, but he was like, that's what I saw. And look, and the thing is, when you have John Singleton come out here with Boys in the Hood, is his first film. What does everybody talk about? Oh, look how violent it is. Look how violent it is. All black people are bad. Martin Scorsese been doing this shit since the 70s. Right. But we never gave, you know what I'm saying? Well, people never gave him, well, maybe they did because I wasn't around. But what I'm saying is like the way that people talked about John Singleton and the Hughes brothers, you know what I'm saying? The Hughes brothers, they, you know, in certain households, everybody wasn't fucking with Menace to Society.
Well, I think the thing is with Scorsese, him making mafia movies and everything else, that's a reflection of something that happened in the past, right? Because like in the fucking 90s and everything else, like it wasn't fucking mafia bosses and everything else shooting motherfuckers in the face in the middle of the street and shit like that, like they used to. So that was you know what I'm saying, kind of a different thing. But I think with movies like Menace to Society and, you know what I'm saying, what's the other one?
Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood, shit like that. It was a reflection of society at that moment.
At that time, yeah. I see,
you know what I'm saying? It was literally a reflection of society at that moment, and especially Black society at that moment. In those areas, you know what I'm saying, especially, you know what I'm saying, with the gang violence and, you know what I'm saying, all that kind of different thing, all that kind of different shit that was going on. So, you know, like, of course there's going to be an uproar. Of course it's going to be too violent because now you have to actually watch that movie and then you know this is really going on. So you have to really think about that. At the time that Scorsese is making these mafia films, you don't have to think about that shit no more because now, you know what I'm saying, at the time this movie was out, most of them motherfuckers was either locked up or dead.
Yeah, you know like Goodfellas is a true story. He got the story from the snitch.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying.
He wrote a book. He just did the movie off of the book that the dude that sold everybody out. He did his story. Like the whole Goodfellas movie, if people never seen it, like the guy that's narrating it, which is, you know, Ray Liotta, he was the character that was the snitch.
Yo, when he was in that club laughing while they were smoking them cigars and shit, and he did that laugh, that's the meme now. That shit always cracked me up.
No, but, dude, this is the thing though. So I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah. So I had heard, but I was watching some stuff on him yesterday because I watched this thing that was like talking about how he directs and all this type of shit, right? And I spoke about this 2 weeks ago on 28 minutes or less, right? Well, maybe 3 weeks ago when I did the one episode on The Alchemist, right? Yeah. So there's a song that that Bodie James did called No Laughing Matter, right? And Alchemist always uses samples from with clips from movies. Yeah. So at the end of the song No Laughing Matter, he plays the scene from Goodfellas. when Joe Pesci was like, he was telling the story, and Ray Liotta was like, "Yo, you know, you a funny guy." And he's like, "What do you mean I'm funny? Like funny how?" He was like, you just, just a funny guy." He was like, "Yeah, but how am I funny?" He was like, "Is it my voice?" It's like what's so funny? He was like, I mean, like he was like, he was discombobulated. And I had heard that scene, like Joe Pesci and Martin kind of had like this little thing where like they was kind of like fucking with Ray Liotta. So like that was like authentic. Like that was really going, like Ray didn't know what was going on. Like he really thought, like, because he's thinking, when you look at his face, he looks confused. He's really confused because he's like, "Yo, this ain't in the script." Yeah. Like, so they talked about it in this thing that I was watching on Martin, and he talked about what I love about my movies. He was like, "I want everything to be authentic," and so that reaction that you got out of Ray Liotta and how he was stuttering and jumping all over his thing, like that was real. Like he didn't know, like, why Joe Pesci doing this? Like he stayed in character. Yeah. But but he was saying that like that's the type of stuff that he likes. He likes the authentic stuff. Like there's a scene in Taxi Driver when Robert De Niro is sitting in the mirror and he's like who you talking to? You talking to me? And he was like, that was just Robert De Niro just freelancing, like looking in the mirror, just like that wasn't in the script. And I like, like and then he said that he kept saying like, who you talking to? And he's like the only person in the room. And like Martin was like, he said like he's like behind like the mirror, and I guess he kind of liked what he was doing, so he said he was back there like, say it again. And he was just like, who you talking to? Like he was just sitting there like in the room by himself. So I think that he just has this thing of like of stuff being authentic. And then when you look at even a movie, and the reason I'm keep bringing up Taxi Driver, y'all, because I was just watching it, like the way that he pictured New York at that time, it was just like it felt so authentic. It was like, yo, I guarantee you this is exactly what New York was like in 1973, 74. Like it was just like this.
Steam coming up from the sewers, trash on the streets.
Oh my God.
It looked grimy as hell. Yeah, 100%.
It was grimy as hell. And dude, and I did not know that was Jodie Foster. Yo, Jodie Foster was in there like she was like 18 or some shit. Yeah. But yeah, man, Martin, he just has a way of doing things. And I'm not mad at a person that I feel like if you master something, like for instance, how many times did Denzel play the cop?
Oh, a bunch of times.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if you good at it, you good at it. Just keep doing the shit. Like, I'm not mad at it. And I'm still mad at the fact that one time he got an Oscar, he was playing a dirty cop, but that's the whole nother podcast.
But didn't he play a dirty cop in Devil in the Blue Dress?
But Devil in the Blue Dress was the first time that he was seen as like a sex symbol. Like I don't even think people was even really thinking about that.
But I'm saying, he was a dirty cop in that movie though.
Man, he was a dirty cop in Out of Time. He was just
That's what I'm saying. He's always played a dirty goddamn cop.
Hey, but this time, Training Day different though.
Yeah, it was just that one. He just acted his ass. That's the thing that baffles me when people say that. Like, bro, he played dirty. I'm like, nigga, every time this nigga has played a cop, he's been either like a conflicted cop or a dirty cop. He's never been like a straight-laced officer.
True, but dude, just that it's just one scene, my guy. Like, it's just like I've never seen acting that was, like when he was sitting there, man, you motherfuckers.
Hey.
You gonna do this to Jake? You gonna do this to me?
No.
Hey, man.
One of my favorite scenes in Training Day, and I know we getting off, but one of my favorite scenes in Training Day is when they riding in the car, and he just running down the game on them. You know what I'm saying, about being out in the streets and being on patrol and shit like that. Like that type shit. Like I could see a dirty ass nigga being a cop and being like, yeah, so like, look, this the game. You know what I'm saying? When we get out here, I'm be thinking that shit sweet. You know what I mean? Get on your shit, Make sure you be looking out. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers, they don't care. Over here, you got da-da-da. Over there, you know what I'm saying? That type of shit. Like, but to me, that was one of my favorite scenes because, like, you could see how authentic he was and really being like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I can't believe they put this motherfucker on assignment with me, man. Like, got this goofy motherfucker with me, man. You gonna blow my shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here doing what I'm doing.
Okay, now I know we're going off script, but dude, I think that was orchestrated that way. I think they wanted him because I think that what he was doing when he was building his team, he had to get them to basically be dirty for the fact of like when he made them smoke. And then he was like, when they killed the dude, he was like, you gonna do what I say, because if you don't, I'm gonna have them run your piss and they're gonna see that you've been high with me. You know what I'm saying? So like but I see what you said. That part was dope, but I just feel like when he yelled out Jake, that wasn't in the script, man. Like,
oh no,
I think Denzel just kind of
that was just Denzel. That's that veteran shit.
For him to scream out Jake at that moment, he said, I will have you niggas playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get through with you. Shoe program, nigga.
Down. Shoe program, nigga.
He said, man, I run shit here. You just live here. I'm like, yo, boy, this dude, man, I'm telling you. Oh, but anyway.
Yeah, but look, okay, so you know what I'm saying, Scorcese, man, his vision. That's one of the things I really like about Scorsese is his vision. And one particular movie I enjoyed it was Gangs of New York. You know what I'm saying? That was one of those things where, you know, it's at the cusp of America, you know what I'm saying, being this fairly new country, you know what I'm saying? It's still going through its turmoils of you know what I'm saying, dealing with war and everything. I think that it was just like right after the brink of the Civil War and shit like that. So like, you know what I'm saying, they was dealing with the, you know what I'm saying, the certain shit with the presidents and all that type of shit. And it was just to me, it was just one of those things that it embodied what it was like, not just to be in New York, but to be in New York in that time period. You know what I'm saying? Like in one of the scenes, they even went as far as when they was actually rioting and looting, you know what I'm saying? It was a black dude being strung up on there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one of them things that it was authentic. Like, even though we seen in Leo's crew, he had a black dude with him, but you could see how they kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like when he was going to Billy and talking to Billy, how Billy's crew was kind of looking at the black dude. Or even the fact that, you know what I'm saying, when they was all talking, they was kind of disrespecting the Irish and disrespecting all the different, you know what I'm saying, all the other different, you know what I'm saying, nationalities that was there. Because at the time, you know, the Irish and shit wasn't accepted either. You know what I'm saying? The you know what I'm saying, it was certain people who weren't accepted because they were Irish or because they were French and shit like that. So like when you seen that happen, and you seen the way that they were interacting with you know what I'm saying, with each other in that time period, like it seemed so, you know what I'm saying, like you said, authentic. It was just like, damn, like if you know, especially if you know anything about that time, you was just looking like, oh shit, like this is some real shit. Like he really, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying, with the different gangs, how the gangs they wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, like they were gangs after, you know what I'm saying, the people's last name. You know what I'm saying? They was gangs after, you know what I'm saying, the leader of they was named after, that's what I'm trying to say. They was named after, you know what I'm saying, the last names of the leader of the gangs, where, you know what I'm saying, like you can kind of see that being the thing of the time. Like even how when the firemen, they was coming to put out the fire, these motherfuckers got to fighting. And the shit was just burning down. Like, like it was just, you know what I'm saying, you could tell like at that time, it was like, you know what I'm saying, we getting to see New York in its most rawest form before it actually became what it is, you know what I'm saying? And we get to see how it was, you know what I'm saying, even though you had the governor and the mayor and all that shit, like at any given fucking time, like anybody could have been taken out because it really wasn't any kind of fucking, you know what I'm saying, like law there. Like, yeah, you had the policemen, man, but the policemen wasn't doing shit, man. Them motherfuckers was going at each other. They was having full-fledged wars in the middle of Times Square and shit. Like it was just crazy, man. And I think the vision that he put into Gangs of New York was dope as hell because it also, you know what I'm saying, showed you you know what I'm saying, a piece of history, but it also gave you this story to where you can really sit back and watch it. And then, you know what I'm saying, the actors that was in it, you know what I'm saying, Leonardo DiCaprio, Cameron Diaz, Daniel Day-Lewis, like these motherfuckers were brilliant in this movie. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the ones that you know, you kind of appreciate the vision. You know what I'm saying? The Aviator was another one. You know what I'm saying? Him and Leo back at it again doing their thing, and just the Aviator would, you know what I'm saying, the whole thing about airplanes and, you know, being a pilot and all this other shit like that. To me, that was it's just dope to see how he'll take a vision and really just put it on screen and create it on screen to where you either feel like you there or you feel like you know something about this.
Yeah, I fuck with Gangs of New York, man. That was just one of those movies that was really different. It was raw, it was authentic, and it was like, you know, it was one of those movies that I don't remember why I watched it, but I just found it very interesting, man. And to where you get stuck on the screen, where it's kind of like that was one of those movies that I was speaking about when I was doing The Negotiator. Like when that movie came out, there wasn't a lot of distractions at that time. Right. You know, you couldn't really pick up your phone, look at social media, and you know what I'm saying, all that type shit. And I think that was just one of those movies where you could really watch it, and you could watch it all the way through, and like you're sitting at the edge of your seat, and you're sitting there thinking like, yo, like, because the thing about Daniel Day-Lewis is a lot of people speak about like how he gets so in depth with a character, because they say he's like a method actor. Yeah. And like he really gets into it. And they was like, yo, like you couldn't like have a conversation with Daniel Day-Lewis when he played that character.
They
like,
said when he did Lincoln that he was like that. Like, nigga, he was really walking around being Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. And that was a good movie.
Yeah.
The Lincoln that he did, that was a really good movie. Yeah. So a little trivia for you. Did you know that Martin Scorcese taught Oliver Stone and Spike Lee at New York University?
I believe it.
That's crazy.
I mean, but look at the work they've done though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
they both legends too.
Yeah, that doesn't shock me. Like, especially with Oliver Stone, like the shit that he's put on screen, just the visuals alone, right? With Spike Lee, you know what I'm saying? The uniqueness of his films, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody knows that unique Spike Lee walkthrough scene where, you know what I'm saying? Like it looks like they just standing there. Yeah, man. Just like little things like that, like you expect from, you know what I'm saying, those legendary directors, you expect from those legendary producers. And it's only right that, you know what I'm saying, a guy that was, you know what I'm saying, under the mentorship of or under the teaching of Martin Scorsese could come up with something like that to be like, man, what would make my shit different? What would make my shit pop? And he, you know what I'm saying, Spike Lee create that. And then not even to mention, Spike Lee's already a cinematic genius, you know what I'm saying, as is. So to be able to, you know what I'm saying, get that in there, is, you know what I'm saying, to have that in there, like, come on, man. You could just see it on film. Like anything Spike Lee does to me, besides that Chirac movie, like anything that he's done is like, you really can't be mad at it.
And then think about and now you know I hold this movie to a very high regard, but to think about now, like just seeing this information, thinking about the movie Platoon, which I said is my number one war movie, to think about what the authenticness that Oliver Stone had with that movie, because he was actually in Vietnam. Yeah. So he gave us like his personal view of what he experienced there. And when you think about the authentic, like how authentic his movies is, and for that movie, now it really makes sense of him being under the tutelage of somebody like Martin Scorsese to have a film. Now Oliver Stone got a lot of films out there, but that's my favorite Oliver Stone movie is Platoon, and to see how you could tell that he had some conversation with Martin Scorsese. Let's say that.
Right. And it's just like everything that they put out just seems epic. Yeah. It has like that epic feel to it. Like
they got that it factor, man.
Yeah, it's like super grandiose, bro. Like even with Spike Lee, like if you've ever watched like School Days, just the fact that, you know what I'm saying, they had, you know what I'm saying, the authenticity of the HBCU experience on film. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not a lot of movie, and there's been a lot of movies that's been, you know what I'm saying, surrounded in the whole HBCU energy and surrounded in the atmosphere of it, but they've never had it, it never seemed as authentic as something like a School Days was, you know what I'm saying? With, you know what I'm saying, with Spike Lee's character having to go through, you know what I'm saying, being on the line and having to actually go through the hazing rituals and everything else, him being accepted and him, you know what I'm saying, having that brotherhood amongst, you know what I'm saying, excuse me, you know what I'm saying, his fraternity, you know what I'm saying, the different women being in the fraternity, the sororities and talking about which one they wanted to go to, which one they wanted to pick, you know what I mean, like the dudes doing the same thing, you know what I'm saying, the parties, you know what I mean, the differences of, especially at a time with, you know what I'm saying, light-skinned women, dark-skinned women, same thing with the dudes. You know what I'm saying, the situation with, you know what I'm saying, them, you know what I'm saying, fighting for the African apartheid, that type of thing, you know what I'm saying, it seems like, especially when they're doing like pieces in time, it seems like they really capture the moment.
Yeah, definitely, man. And Scorsese has directed 5 films that's been selected to the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress, right?
Mm-hmm.
2 movies of his was selected in the first year of eligibility, Raging Bull and Goodfellas. Like, it's just like his movies are just they're just different. Like, but I think his shooting ability and his vision and how much he loved how authentic things are, but then just giving the people the freedom that he gives them, but the people that he has tied himself to, you know, when it's Joe Pesci,
De Niro,
Pacino, Leonardo DiCaprio,
Ray Liotta,
Ray Liotta. Yep. So it's just is I don't know, man. Like, I'm with you. I don't think that there's gonna be another person, but then like the mob stories that he has chosen is just like, I don't think. Now, don't get me wrong. There's been a Hoffa movie before. Like, they've done a movie on Jimmy Hoffa before, but the thing about The Irishman was a lot of people criticized, but I think people was being nitpicky though. Like, people was nitpicky about the CGI, but I felt what he was trying to do. I think that he was just like, yo, I don't want to bring a younger person to come in and play.
I thought the CGI was brilliant.
I thought it was too. It's like, instead of just
to get them to look a little bit younger so they can still do it, and then, you know what I'm saying, you can see them gradually age as the movie went on. Like, that was genius.
I thought it was too, but people didn't like it, and people also said, yo, man, this movie's over 3 hours. It's like, I get it. Like, the first time I watched it, I had to watch it in pieces. Like, I had to watch like 2 hours, then I had to go back and watch the rest of it later.
I had to watch it half and half too.
Yeah, so but to see what he was able to do, but then, like, man, how legendary these actors are, man. Like, I don't think that now, even though, like, you know, I mean, Joe Pesci is underrated to the point of this dude totally changed his career.
Yeah.
Like, started doing like the Home Alone movies and stuff like that. He started doing more.
I think he did My Cousin Vinny, bro.
My Cousin Vinny, you know, I heard people talking about it, and I finally watched it for the first time like 2 months ago.
Hilarious.
It is to think about your cousin being a lawyer, but he's one of those insurance lawyers.
Horrible at his job, though. Horrible at his job.
But they gradually showed you how better he got at being a trial lawyer because he'd never been a trial lawyer before. So I thought that, I mean, it was. I just thought that, I just heard people saying that like My Cousin Vinny was like phenomenal. And I was like, it wasn't phenomenal. It was good.
You got to remember why they're saying that, because we talking about Joe fucking Pesci. Like, you don't expect Joe Pesci to play a role like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, even him playing in Home Alone, he still was kind of playing that same role, but in a funny way. But in My Cousin Vinny, he's playing like a complete comedy role.
No. And Lethal Weapon 2, my guy. He is
Yes.
playing a comedy role. Like that is one of and that Joe Pesci in that movie is hilarious.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yo,
You know what I'm saying?
didn't he have blonde hair in that movie? Or am I
Did he
thinking of
have
somebody
blonde
else?
hair? You might be thinking about somebody. I don't think he had blonde hair in that movie. But I just think that like even the people that he chose to attach his career to turned out to be just I mean, I don't know, man. I just think that Martin has been he is kind of like
Yeah, he did.
he did have blonde hair in that one.
I know I wasn't
That
tripping, bro.
wasn't that wasn't Lethal Weapon 2 though, was
That's
it?
the Weapon 3.
Okay.
I knew one of them, bro. He had blonde hair in one of the movies. I never forget that. Go ahead.
See, I always watch 2. 3
Okay.
3 and 4, I didn't really like my dad's a huge fan of Lethal Weapon.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never watched a Lethal Weapon movie all the way through.
Dude, listen. The first one is cool, but the second one, that's the one. The second one,
I cannot get into Riggs and Murtaugh.
Dude, I got into Riggs and Murtaugh. Yo, when they put that bomb on that toilet seat, but he was sitting on the toilet for hours.
I never believed Danny Glover as an action hero, bro. I couldn't do it. Mel Gibson, yes.
Mel Gibson was the one.
No, bro.
Dude,
but Danny Glover was also in he was in the movie, bro. And I never looked at him like even him having a partner like that, like it's some shit. To me, the real life version of that is if some shit happened, Mel Gibson's character go crazy, Danny Glover character have a heart attack. He was like 60 years old in that movie.
Hey, but you is stupid, but yo, listen. Okay, so we gotta do this. So Martin Scorcese has been nominated for 283 awards, 170 wins.
Hey,
so
I mean, it's just. It's definitely just. I mean, like, if you look at his work, his filmography, like, I just want to go and just name a few, and these are the ones that I know for certain, right? So you know what I'm saying. I'll start off with Taxi Driver, right? Raging Bull, and then let me see, Goodfellas, Cape Fear, Casino, Gangs of New York, The Aviator, The Departed, Shutter Island. Come on now, we did a episode on that. You know what I'm saying? Boardwalk Empire. You know what I'm saying? He did an episode of Boardwalk Empire. Hugo, which was a children's movie. The Wolf of Wall Street, Street of Dreams. I'm not Street of Dreams. Sorry, The Wolf of Wall Street. And then The Irishman was the last one I watched from Scorsese. But I mean, like, if you just go down those alone, you know what I'm saying, that'll just let you know just how well his, you know what I'm saying, his filmography is. Like, that's amazing just to have those movies under your belt.
Man, you are not kidding.
I'm sorry, Clockers. I forgot about Clockers.
But then, dude, think about this. Dude, he directed Michael Jackson videos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Also got to consider that.
I mean, like the family was a great movie too. That was actually funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's done some amazing work. And the fact that he's had a chance to, you know what I'm saying, put out that number of I don't want to instantly jump to the word classics, but just those are like solid joints, uncut gems. Once We Were Brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are like solid joints that a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, would like, they would pay to have that shit in their catalog. Like, I mean, people would probably sell their soul to have those movies, especially all of those joints. And they would probably sell their soul to have that in their catalog. And he's done, you know what I'm saying, just that. Like, it's not a lot of people. Like, if we had a movie versus, there's not a lot of people that could go toe to toe with him.
Man, you ain't kidding.
At all.
So what are we doing? We're doing top 3 or top 5? What are we doing?
Can do top 3. We can do top
3.
Okay. Yeah, you go ahead and take it, man.
Oh, I'm up first. Well, definitely on Goodfellas. No particular order. Goodfellas, The Departed.
Mm-hmm.
One left. Damn, man, this is tough. Cause I want to say Casino, but me and you had that conversation about Casino and Goodfellas, so I'm trying to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like they do kind of feel like the same movie.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, man. I don't know though, man. Casino's my shit.
Man, that's my fucking shit.
I'm sorry, man. I gotta go with Goodfellas, Casino, and The Departed, man. I got to, man.
Oh yeah, I feel you.
But I'm saying, but what's the name is closed? Look, Taxi Driver's closed.
Mm-hmm.
Gangs of New York is closed.
Wolf of Wall Street.
And look, man. Even though it was long, I fucked with the
Irishman. Yeah, that shit was genius, man. I'm gonna go Casino, Gangs of New York, and then I'm gonna go with Shutter Island. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Those 3, like Casino. First and foremost, Casino is one of my all-time favorite movies. I don't care when it's on. I don't care what scene it's on. I'm going to watch it the rest of the way. I'm going to watch it as soon as it comes on. Casino is my joint. Shout out to my man Sam Rothstein.
Yeah, we did Casino.
Yeah, we did Casino.
Yeah,
definitely did Casino. We did Shutter Island. You know what I'm saying? That's another one that we did. But Gangs of New York is also one of my all-time favorite movies because, like I said, it encapsulates that time period. Especially with everything that, you know what I'm saying, we know the East to be in that time. You know what I'm saying, with the arrival of immigrants and everything else, like to see the realness of an immigrant coming in around that time and them being treated a different way and them being looked at a certain way and everything else. Like not necessarily, you know what I'm saying, how we see it nowadays, but we actually get a chance to see how, you know what I'm saying, what it could have been like in that time period. I think that was genius. And then, I mean, Shutter Island, like, come on, bro. You talking about one of the greatest psychological thrillers of all time to me. Like, when I show that movie to people that like for the first time, because there's still people that haven't even seen this shit yet. So when I show this movie to people that seen it for the first time, they be in amazement. Like, yo, I didn't know what the hell was going on, and to see how it ends is crazy. So yeah, like those are my joints right there. Casino, you know what I'm saying? Gangs of New York, Shutter Island, hands down.
I'm with you. Look, I am not mad at it. I know when it comes to Shutter Island, like that was one of those. If y'all want to hear me like be amazed about something, because I had seen Shutter Island before we did that podcast, and then I watched it again, you know, for the podcast, and then like I still interpreted it the way that I interpreted it, but then like once we got to talk about it and you start going in depth with some shit, like you could hear me, like I had like my tone changed to everything throughout the podcast. Because I was like,
you see, that's why I say to me it's one of those, like that's why it's one of the greatest, you know what I'm saying, movies you can watch, because especially as far as psychological thrillers goes, because there's so many different angles you can take in that movie. And there's so many different ways you can look at that movie and come out and be like, you know what, I think really what happened is, you know what I'm saying? Or you can interpret it in so many different ways. And it's one of those things that like, especially, you know what I'm saying? Like nowadays, like we don't have those movies to where like right after the movie go off, we can instantly just talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like we had movies like Get Out that done that, you know what I'm saying? Well, as recent as possible. But it's not like a lot of movies that's been out lately that we could do that with. That's one of those movies that I don't care how many times I watch it, whoever I watch it with, like we instantly get into a conversation about that movie. And that's what I love so much about that movie, because it's thought-provoking and it makes you, you know what I'm saying, have those conversations. It makes you have those ideas, and it makes you, you know what I'm saying, get into that. And I really appreciate that about movies like that.
Man, you know, first of all, we haven't done any Jordan Peele movies on here.
We might have to do Get Out, bro, because Get Out was good.
Yeah, it was, and I actually watched Us not too long ago. I was showing it to my old lady.
Us is not that bad now that I rewatched
it. Yeah, when you really rewatch it and see, and once that twist hits you, you like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not that bad. But I had a point. My son came in and said something to me. But yeah, man. I think that Martin, the way that he viewed things, I think that we're going to be able to take some of the films that he's done. I think that if you show somebody that wants to be a filmmaker, I would be like, yo, watch Martin Scorsese movies. As a matter of fact, I would tell them, yo, watch Taxi Driver, yo. Like Taxi Driver it got the acclaim that it deserves. And it was one of those movies. Like, I think what it was, I think I was listening to Rappaport. He just kept talking about Taxi Driver. I was like, man, I need to watch Taxi Driver. So I watched Taxi Driver, and I'm like, yo, like, but I'm also one of those people where I can watch him, because some people can't get, 2022 out of their mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you watch a period movie, like you have to think in that period. Like, you have to think, 70s, it ain't no cell phones. You know what I'm saying? They ain't no CGI. Like, there's
ain't no internet, ain't none of that shit.
So it's like you have to think, like, you have to kind of put yourself there and realize, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? This dude got to go to the payphone to make this phone call. Like, I remember when we was talking about one of the episodes of Snowfall, and you was like, yo, man, why you won't just hit what's that? Oh yeah, I forgot you gotta go to a payphone. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you have to put yourself in those times. And I think that I think that people that appreciate films, I think they'll get it. But that's just one of those movies, man.
But see, Snowfall is shot so beautifully, like you forget that we are in the fucking 80s. Like, it's not one of those shows that shot like the 80s. Like, nigga, you forget that you watching the show about the fucking 80s. Like, what I would do though with a lot of people, especially somebody who's up and coming, I would definitely tell them to watch Scorcese 100%. And I wouldn't just, I don't think I could pick a movie. I would just tell them just to watch as many Scorsese movies as they can and pay attention to the details that's added in the, you know what I'm saying, in the movies. Like, for instance, and I know I keep going back to it, but this is one of those ones that just fascinated me, was Gangs of New York. How when they was going to war, they had a little kid drumming, and then they had another little kid holding the flag, right? And then they would go into battle or whatever. They would get busy. After they get done, they piece it up, but then they tell them, yo, for whatever kill you made, get your spoils now. And then they would help them put the bodies up and carry the bodies on, you know what I'm saying, after the war. And then the next month, and like whoever lost just had to fucking capitulate to, you know what I'm saying? I mean, whoever lost had to capitulate to whoever won. But it was just like they had rules of engagement in that time. Yep. And it made sense. Like, yo, this is like, it's amazing just to be able to see those actions. You know what I'm saying? So like those details definitely play a part. And I would also tell them, man, go watch blaxploitation films. You know what I'm saying? Where these independent film artists was actually having to do it themselves and actually having to put these films together, because that's one of those things that, you know what I'm saying, I see, and me personally, I love blaxploitation films. But like just the way that they were shot, you know what I'm saying, the type of, like, the greatest thing I've seen like in a long time was Black Dynamite. Just the fact that Black Dynamite was shot the way it was shot, it looked so authentically like, you know what I'm saying, like it was a blaxploitation film, even though it was, but it really wasn't. But it definitely was shot the way, you know what I'm saying, like the boom mic, you can see a boom mic here and there, you know what I'm saying, like the sound of they flicking the pan to make the thunder sound or whatever, like just little shit like that. I just always thought it was dope. Or even the, you know what I'm saying, when they punch somebody and they go, psh, you know what I'm saying, shit like that. Yeah, like that type of shit about those movies always, you know what I'm saying, kept me watching. And then, you know what I'm saying, just the way that they were shot, like somebody be, you know what I'm saying, going through something and then it just like zoom in like all up in that motherfucker face and you be like, God damn, like that motherfucker is all on that man's face. But it's just like those type of things is, you know what I'm saying, those are the type of things I would tell people to go watch because, you know what I'm saying, when you can get the basics like that, like you can shoot anything. Between that and Scorcese, like you can make a movie and make that motherfucker look amazing.
Yeah, man. And what was I gonna say? He talked about in an interview where it coming up on the 70s how it was hard to make a film. Mm-hmm. And he said the only reason he was able to even get Taxi Driver even funded was because of Robert De Niro performance in Mean Street. Yeah. He was like, if he would have tried to do that movie without Robert De Niro, they wouldn't have done it. Yeah. And like I bring that up because you were talking about the blaxploitation films because Hollywood was going through a tough time. Like it was hard of, you know, people funding movies. And he was saying that the only movies that was being greenlighted was because of like one, like you had to have one big name in the movie, but also those blaxploitation films, which we did in the our last appreciation episode was Melvin Van Peebles. Yep. So if y'all want to hear more about that, you can go back in the archive. I try to tell y'all, man, this archive is deep, man.
Yeah, man, we got some joints. We got some joints, man. And we got some joints about some serious names, man. Like, if you ain't never heard of Melvin Van Peebles, do your research. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the guys who, you know what I'm saying, he's done some very, very serious work politically. And he's put some work on film that, you know, to this day, man, like, he's made shit happen. You know what I'm saying? So much so where his son is even, you know what I'm saying, in the mix that way too. So yeah, you gotta, you know what I'm saying, do your part. Go back and listen to those episodes. Go check those episodes out. You know what I mean? Even if you just listen to the appreciation joints, regardless, you know what I'm saying, go check them out. We got some great names on those appreciation joints. And or even if you just picking the movies that you like, you know what I mean, go do that. You know, but definitely go check those episodes out. Excuse me. You ready for coming soon, bro?
Yes, sir.
Coming soon. Coming soon.
All right, man. Y'all know what it is. Coming soon. Next episode, man. The last and final episode. That's redundant in the motherfucker. The last episode of season 5 of Snowfall, man. Episode 10. This is where, you know what I'm saying, it's supposed to be crazy. A bunch of shit is supposed to be happening. And of course, you already know they're going to leave us on a cliffhanger for episode 6. So just be prepared for it, ladies and gentlemen. But we are definitely going to talk about it, you know what I'm saying, this next episode. We're going to get into it and we're going to see where they leave us hanging. So y'all, you know what I'm saying, make sure y'all check that out. Make sure y'all watch Snowfall too, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying, you can get in there with us and chat it up with us after you listen to the episode. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun, man. I can't wait for this one.
Yeah, it's one of those sad but happy times, man. Mm-hmm. You know, this is one of the things that we do every Friday when these episodes come out. We gotta at some point find another show to do definitely. This too. But it also gotta be a show that is, I was about to say positive. Popular. It's gotta be something where the people you're like, oh, okay, this show is what's up. And like it's gonna have to be one.
Maybe we can do one that's popular and then one that's not so popular. Let's see if we could put some people on to something new.
True. Because I mean, look, that's what I do. Dude, most of the shit, I'm gonna be honest with you, most of the shit that I do on goddamn 28 minutes or less don't be the most popular shit. It be the shit that I fuck with and I'm trying to put you on, to be honest with you. Yeah. So that's a lot of the shit that I do. But
hey man, don't feel bad. I put people on the Velocipaster, so we good.
Yeah. Definitely. So But yeah, you stupid, man. Nah.
Hey, man, you can't lie and say you ain't laugh at that shit, man.
I did.
I know you did, bro. I know you did.
I did. But yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. Kids keep coming in here talking to me. But yeah, so I'm happy about it, man. But I think what it does though, to be honest with you, it gives us more opportunity to do some shit like that one episode that we've been talking about for a long time. It's finally coming up. You know what I'm saying? We've been telling y'all about it for a while. Movies in 1999 is coming up soon. And that's gonna be a fun ass episode, man. So we've been coming up with more creative ideas behind the scenes that we want to try, other than just doing, movies and films and documentaries and appreciation episodes. We're trying to throw some different shit in there. Like we did the top 10 TV series. We ain't done that type of thing on this podcast. So we did the top movies of the previous year for the first time at the beginning of this year. So we're trying to come up with some different shit for y'all. So, but yeah, when we don't have a episode to do on Fridays, we can do more creative shit with this space.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
But I'm ready for it though.
Yeah, me too, man. So listen, if you guys loved this episode, or you loved any of the previous episodes, or if you hated any of the previous episode or this episode, feel free to hit us up on the socials, man. IG and Twitter at View9Pod, on Facebook, VA Pod Watch Group. Let us know how you feeling. Don't forget to leave a review for us on Apple. We greatly appreciate that. That helps us, spread the news and spread the word that we out here. And follow me, man, at Scoots Bronson on Twitter. And then if you go on my bio, I got a link tree link, or you can just hit that link tree link, and it'll send you everywhere else, man. My OnlyFans is coming along, so if y'all want to check me out on the OnlyFans, not me, but if you want to check out what I'm doing on the OnlyFans, go to the link tree. If you do want to check me out, though, feel free. If you want to pay for it, for sure, I'll send it to you. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is so fucking funny. Hey, if somebody was thinking like, what? But like, well, what you doing on OnlyFans?
Yeah. I mean, if you pay for it, I'll do it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got some shit to put on there. Don't think I don't.
That's fucking funny. So y'all can find me at s.foster8 on Instagram and Twitter, at 28 minutes or less pod on IG. Find the podcast on all major platforms. Just put out a new episode. I did The Negotiator, but I've been telling everybody one of my top 3, top 5 movies of all time. I just got inspired, man. I just watched it and I said, man, you know what? I got a pod about it, man. So so I put that out and my thoughts on that. And also I went into what I thought was very interesting conversation about people that just do the job of being a negotiator. Like, I just think that's like you got to be a very well-rounded person to do that. But
we just did a movie like that with Inside Man.
Yeah, we did Inside Man with Denzel Washington, Jodie Foster. Yep. We did Clive Owen. We did that shit a couple of episodes back.
Man, we be on it all, man. We be on.
That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. We do this shit. But yeah, go find it on all major platforms. Episode 82. So appreciate everybody.
Yes, sir. And see, that's the beauty of it all, man. Like, y'all get the movies and joints here, then you go to 28 minutes or less and get all the other joints and movies and docs and TV shows there. Like, man, we just giving y'all hella content. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Hella content. And it's beautiful. Also, man, I forgot to tell y'all, you know what I'm saying, once it warms up here in Ohio, hopefully the sun decides to come a little bit closer soon. Immaculate Bros is coming back. Immaculate Bros is coming back. I've already got the word from my little cousins. They said that they can't wait to do it. So, you know what I'm saying? There's going to be some videos on there. So if you get the chance, go to the Immaculate Bros YouTube, subscribe now. We got a lot of new content that we're going to be shooting. We got some cool stuff that we're going to be doing. I think I already said it on here before, but we're supposed to be doing the kick challenge where we're supposed to be punting and kicking field goals. Yeah, that shit to me, I think that's gonna be the funnest one. But it's a lot more stuff that we're gonna be doing too. So y'all, you know what I'm saying, get on there, subscribe now. Hit them up on all their socials at Immaculate Bros. Let them know y'all ready for the content. And tell them Scoot sent you. And with that being said, man, thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. We, you know what I'm saying, it's always greatly appreciated. And like I said, Hollywood, man, that is a wrap.
Cut.